The spaceship moved slowly through the dark space. It was a big ship, silver and shiny, carrying 15 alien students from different planets. They were going to Earth for the first time. Bora pressed her face against the window. She was a Volanthe, a being with soft purple skin and 3 eyes. Her people were known for being curious about everything. Today, her curiosity was mixed with fear. "Is that it?" she asked, pointing at the blue and green ball floating in space. "Is that Earth?" Her teacher, a tall creature named Professor Catan, moved closer to look. He had 6 arms and skin that changed color when he felt emotions. Right now, his skin was a nervous yellow. "Yes," he said quietly, "that is Earth, the planet they call the Deathworld." The other students gathered at the windows. They came from many different planets. Some had fur, some had scales, some had no solid bodies at all. But they all shared one thing. They were scared. Hana, a small being made of living crystal, made a worried sound. "Why are we going there? The stories say everything on Earth can kill you." "That is why we are going," Professor Catan explained. "The Galactic Council wants us to understand humans better. They are becoming important in galactic politics. We need to know who they are." The ship started going down through the clouds. The clouds were made of water, water that fell from the sky, water that could damage many kinds of alien bodies. "The water is in the air," said Taman, a furry being from a desert planet. His people never saw rain. The idea of water falling from the sky was terrifying to him. The ship landed smoothly on a large flat area. Buildings surrounded them, tall and shiny. A sign said Seoul Spaceport, "Welcome to Earth." The door of the ship opened. Warm air came inside. It smelled strange, full of organic matter, chemicals, and something else. Life. The air smelled like life. A young human woman stood waiting for them. She had black hair and warm brown eyes. She was smiling. "Welcome to Earth," she said. "My name is Sumi. I will be your guide during your visit." The students looked at her carefully. She looked soft, weak. No claws, no protective shell, no obvious weapons on her body. "How do you survive here?" Bora asked before she could stop herself. "You have no natural defenses." Sumi laughed. It was a strange sound, open and honest. "We have many defenses. You just cannot see them. Come, I will show you our planet." A human male joined her. He was taller, with broad shoulders and a kind face. "I am Junho. I will help Sumi take care of you. Please do not worry. We will keep you safe." Professor Catan's skin turned a slightly calmer blue. "Thank you. We have heard many things about Earth. We are nervous." "Everyone is nervous their first time. That is normal. But I promise if you follow our instructions, you will be fine." They walked through the spaceport. Humans moved around them, going about their daily business. They barely looked at the alien visitors. This was strange to the students. "They are not afraid of us?" Taman asked. "Why would they be afraid?" Sumi asked back. "You are our guests." "But we are aliens, different, unknown." Sumi shrugged. "Humans have lived with unknown things forever. Our planet is full of strange creatures. We are used to surprises." They got into a large vehicle that moved on wheels. The students watched through the windows as the city passed by. Buildings everywhere, tall and short, trees with green leaves, people walking on streets, riding vehicles, carrying things. And then Bora saw something that made her freeze. A small creature sat on the side of the road. It had 4 legs, fur, and a long tail. As she watched, it jumped into the air and caught something with its mouth. "What is that?" she asked, her voice shaking. Sumi looked where she pointed. "Oh, that is just a cat, a domesticated animal. Many people keep them as pets." "Pets?" "Companions, for friendship." "But it is a predator. I saw it hunt just now." Sumi nodded. Yes, cats hunt small animals, mice, birds, insects. It is their nature. And you keep these hunters in your homes? Many of us do, yes. They are good company. The students exchanged worried looks. Humans kept predators as friends. This was new information, important information. The vehicle continued through the city. The students saw more strange things. Dogs, which Junho explained were also pets, larger and louder than cats. Birds flying in the sky, free and wild. Insects moving through the air in ways that seemed random and dangerous. There is so much life here, Hana observed. Everywhere I look, something is alive. Earth has millions of species, Junho said casually. We have only discovered a small number of them. Only discovered? You mean you do not know what lives on your own planet? Not completely. New species are found every year. The ocean especially has many secrets. This does not concern you? Junho thought about it. Sometimes, but it's also exciting. There is always more to learn. The vehicle stopped at a large building with a beautiful garden in front of it. Flowers of many colors grew there. The students stared at them. These are plants, Sumi explained. They make food from sunlight. Many of them are quite beautiful. Bora looked at the flowers. They seemed harmless, pretty even, but she remembered her training. Nothing on Earth was truly harmless. What do they do? Bora asked, her voice shaking. Sumi smiled. Good question. Some plants have thorns, sharp points that can cut skin. Some have poison in their leaves. Some produce chemicals that cause pain or itching. That one over there, she pointed to a plant with pretty white flowers, can kill a human if eaten. And you grow it in front of this building? It is beautiful, and we know not to eat it. The students entered the building. It was the place where they would stay during their visit. Their rooms were comfortable, with beds and windows and everything they might need. Rest today, Professor Catan told them. Tomorrow, the real learning begins. That night, Bora could not sleep. She lay in her bed listening to the strange sounds of Earth. Wind moving through trees, insects making noise. Somewhere far away, a dog barking. Her window showed the night sky, different stars than she was used to. A single moon, pale and white. And then she heard something that made her hearts beat faster. Rain! Water was falling from the sky. She jumped out of bed and looked through the window. Drops of water fell from the clouds, hitting the ground, making everything wet. Lightning flashed in the distance, electricity jumping from the sky to the ground. This was a death world. This is where humans came from. The next morning at breakfast, the students talked about the rain. The sky attacked the surface, Taman said. I saw it. Electricity and water falling without warning. It's a storm, Sumi explained calmly. She was eating something called toast, burned grain pressed into flat shapes. They happen often. Usually they are not dangerous. Usually? Sometimes storms are very strong. They can damage buildings or hurt people. But we have learned to predict them. We take shelter when bad ones come. And this is normal life for you? Completely normal. Junho entered the room carrying equipment. Good morning, everyone. Today we are going outside to explore nature. Please put on these suits. They will protect you from the sun. The sun is dangerous too? Hana asked. Our star produces radiation that can damage skin over time. These suits will block it. Humans use something called sunscreen, a cream we put on our bodies. But for you, full suits are safer. The students put on the protective suits. They felt heavy and awkward. Junho and Sumi wore only light clothing, their skin exposed to everything. How do you not constantly burn? Bora asked. Our skin has some natural protection. Also, we limit our time in direct sunlight, and we heal. You heal from radiation damage? Our bodies repair themselves. Not perfectly, but enough. This was another piece of the puzzle. Humans were not immune to their planet's dangers. They were simply very good at recovering from them. The students followed their guides outside. The sun was bright and warm, the air smelled fresh after the rain. Everything seemed alive and dangerous. Their education about the Deathworld had truly begun. The Seoul Central Hospital was huge. White walls, clean floors, the smell of chemicals in the air. Everywhere, humans in uniforms moved with purpose. "This is where we heal," Junho explained. "When humans are hurt or sick, they come here. Doctors and nurses work to repair them." Dr. Unjin met them at the entrance. She was a small woman with tired eyes but a warm smile. She had been healing people for 20 years. "Welcome," she said. "I will show you how humans maintain their bodies." The students followed her through the hospital. They saw many things that confused and amazed them. In one room, a human lay on a bed with tubes connected to his arm. Liquid dripped slowly from a bag into his body. "What is happening to him?" Bora asked. "He is receiving medicine and fluids directly into his blood. He was in an accident and lost a lot of blood. We are replacing it." "You can replace blood?" "Yes. We store blood from healthy humans and give it to those who need it. It must be the right type. Humans have different blood types that must match." "You take blood from some humans and put it in others?" "We call it donation. Healthy humans volunteer to give blood. It saves many lives." In another room, a human woman held a newborn baby. The baby was tiny, wrapped in soft cloth. "This baby was born 2 days ago," Dr. Unjin said. "Mother and child are both healthy. They will go home tomorrow." "Birth, is that dangerous? They must stay in a healing place?" "Birth can have complications. We monitor mother and baby to make sure everything is okay. If problems happen, we can respond quickly." "What kind of problems?" "Many kinds. The baby might not breathe properly. The mother might bleed too much. Things can go wrong in many ways, but we have learned to handle most of them." They visited the emergency room next. It was busy and loud. Humans arrived with all kinds of injuries. A young man sat holding his arm. It was bent at an unnatural angle. "Broken bone," Dr. Unchin said. "It will need to be set and put in a cast. The bone will heal in a few weeks." "Bones heal?" "Yes. Human bones are living tissue. When they break, the body produces new bone material to connect the pieces. We help by keeping the bone in the correct position while this happens." "What if the bone does not heal?" "Then we use surgery. We can put metal pieces inside to hold the bone together. Sometimes we replace damaged bone with artificial material." "You put metal inside your bodies?" Dr. Unjin nodded. "Many humans have metal inside them. Plates, screws, pins, even entire joints can be replaced with artificial ones." An older man was wheeled past them on a bed. Monitors showed his heart rhythm. His chest was wrapped in bandages. "Heart surgery," Dr. Unjin explained. "His heart was damaged. Surgeons repaired it this morning. He is recovering now." "You can repair hearts?" Hana's crystal form glowed with amazement. "The heart is the most important organ." "We can repair many things. Hearts, brains, lungs, livers. We can even replace some organs with organs from donors." "Donors?" "When a human dies, they can choose to give their organs to others. The organs are removed and put into people who need them. One donor can save many lives." Taimin was having trouble understanding this. "You take parts from dead humans and put it in living humans?" "Yes, it sounds strange, I know, but it works. The living person can continue life with someone else's organ inside them." "And you accept this, having part of a dead person in your body?" "We are grateful for it. The donor gave a gift. The recipient honors that gift by living well." They visited the surgery observation room. Through a window, they could see doctors working on a patient. The patient was asleep, chest open, machines breathing for them. "How do you keep them asleep during this?" "We use drugs called anesthetics. They make the patient unconscious and unable to feel pain. An anesthesiologist monitors them constantly, keeping them alive while the surgeons work." "You stop their consciousness?" "Temporarily. They wake up when the surgery is done. Usually they remember nothing." Professor Catan watched the surgery with fascination. You have learned to take humans apart and put them back together. Essentially, yes, it took us thousands of years to learn. We are still learning. Every year, we find new ways to heal. The tour continued to the pharmacy. Walls of medicine surrounded them. Pills, liquids, creams, injections. These are drugs that treat different conditions: pain, infection, disease. Each one was developed through research and testing. How do you know they work? We test them, first in laboratories, then on animals, then on human volunteers. Only when we are sure they are safe and effective do we give them to patients. You test on yourselves? Some humans volunteer. They understand the risks. They want to help develop new treatments that will save lives. Why would anyone take that risk? Dr. Unjin thought about it. Because they care about others. Because they hope their sacrifice will help future generations. Because that is what humans do. The final stop was the intensive care unit. Here, the sickest patients received constant attention. Machines monitored every function of their bodies. A family stood outside one room, a mother, father, and young girl. They looked tired and scared. Their grandmother is inside, Dr. Unshin said quietly. She's very sick. We are doing everything we can. Will she survive? We do not know, but we will not stop trying. The young girl looked up at the alien visitors. Her eyes were red from crying, but she smiled anyway. Are you from space? Bora was surprised. Yes, we are visiting your planet. Do people get sick on other planets? Some do, but we have different ways of handling it. I hope you never get sick. It is scary. The young mother's mother put an arm around her. Come, Minji, let us get something to eat. Grandmother would want us to take care of ourselves. They walked away together, supporting each other. That is hard to watch, Taimin said softly. Dr. Unjin nodded. Medicine is not just about bodies, it's about families, about hope, about refusing to give up. We fight for every life, because every life matters. As they left the hospital, the students were quiet. They had seen something important, not just human medicine, but human spirit. They know they are fragile, Professor Catan said finally. They know their bodies break and fail, but they fight anyway. They build entire buildings dedicated to repairing themselves. It's amazing, Bora agreed. They do not accept death. They resist it with all their power. Sumi was waiting for them outside. How was the hospital? Terrifying, Hana admitted, and inspiring. Your doctors are warriors. Sumi likes to think so. Tomorrow, you will learn about human history, about how we became who we are. Is there more to learn? We have already seen so much. There is always more. That is the human way. We never stop learning, never stop growing. Come, let us have dinner and rest. Tomorrow will be another big day. That night, Bora looked at her own body. Purple skin, 3 eyes, no natural weapons. She had always felt vulnerable compared to the warrior species of the galaxy. But now she understood something. Humans were more vulnerable than anyone, and yet they were among the most successful species in the galaxy. Perhaps weakness was not a limitation. Perhaps it was a motivation.
The History Museum was full of objects from human past: weapons, tools, art, clothing. Each item told a story. An old human man met them at the entrance. His name was Professor Dong Hyun, and he had studied history for 50 years. Welcome, he said. His voice was slow and thoughtful. Today, you will learn where humans came from. It is not a pretty story, but it is an honest one. He led them to the first exhibit. A display showed early humans, primitive, wearing animal skins, holding simple tools made of stone. 200,000 years ago, humans looked like this. We were weak compared to other animals, slow, soft, with no claws or fangs. Many predators hunted us. How did you survive? Taemin asked. 2 things, our brains and our ability to work together. We made tools, we formed groups, we learned to communicate with language. We became the most dangerous animal on Earth. not through strength, but through intelligence. They moved through displays showing human evolution, the development of fire, farming, cities, writing. Each step forward was marked by struggle and sacrifice. Humans spread across the entire planet, Professor Dong-hyun explained. We adapted to every environment: deserts, forests, mountains, ice. No place was too harsh for us. How? Your bodies are not made for extreme environments. We changed the environments. We built shelters against cold and heat. We made clothing from animal skins and plant fibers. We found or created water sources. When our bodies could not adapt, our minds found solutions. The next section of the museum was darker. War displays filled the rooms. Weapons grew larger and more deadly as they walked through time. This is the part that is hard to tell, Professor Dong-hyun said. Humans fight each other. We always have. Swords, guns, bombs. The students stared at the weapons with horror. Why? Bora asked. You are all the same species. Why would you kill your own kind? Many reasons. Land, resources, power, beliefs. Humans form groups, and groups compete. Sometimes the competition becomes violent, very violent. He showed them images from wars, destroyed cities, mass graves, suffering beyond imagination. In the last century alone, humans killed over 100 million of their own kind. Wars, genocides, famines caused by conflict. We nearly destroyed ourselves. Professor Katan's skin turned dark gray, the color of deep sadness. You were capable of such destruction? Yes, we are also capable of great kindness and compassion. That is the nature of humanity. We contain both extremes. How do you live with this knowledge? We remember. We teach each generation about the past, hoping they will choose better. Some do, some do not. We keep trying. They came to displays about the worst weapons humans had created: nuclear bombs, images of mushroom clouds, and devastated cities. We split the atom, Professor Dong-hyun said quietly. We released the power that holds matter together, and we used it to kill 200,000 people in seconds. You created weapons that could end your species. Yes, and we still have them. Many countries have nuclear weapons, enough to destroy all human life on Earth many times over. Why do you not destroy these weapons? Fear. Each country fears that if they destroy their weapons, others will attack them. So everyone keeps their weapons, hoping no one will ever use them. And this works? So far. But it is a balance based on terror, not ideal. But we are still here. The museum's tone changed as they moved into modern history. Displays showed humans working together, the United Nations, peace treaties, international cooperation. After the Great Wars, many humans decided things must change. We created organizations to prevent future conflicts. We made rules for how countries should treat each other. Did it work? Partly. Large wars between major powers have not happened for decades, but smaller conflicts continue. Humans are still learning to live in peace. Do you think you will ever succeed? Professor Dong-hyun smiled sadly. I hope so. Each generation is a little better than the one before. Progress is slow, but it is real. My grandchildren think differently than my grandparents did. That gives me hope. The final section of the museum focused on space exploration, rockets, satellites, and images of humans walking on their moon. And when humans looked up at the stars, we saw possibilities. We sent machines to other planets. We put people in orbit around Earth. We walked on our moon. And now you travel between stars, Hana added. Yes, when the Galactic Council made contact, we were ready. We had been dreaming of this moment for centuries. He led them to a special exhibit. A large image of Earth seen from space filled one wall. Blue oceans, green land, white clouds. This image changed human thinking. When we saw our planet from outside, we understood something important. All our borders, all our conflicts, all our differences, from space, they are invisible. We are one species on one small world in a very large universe. Did this end your conflicts? No, but it started changing how we think. More and more humans now identify as citizens of Earth first and members of nations second. It is a slow change, but it is happening. Junho stepped forward. I grew up learning about the galaxy. My parents taught me that we are part of something bigger than Korea, bigger than Earth. This is normal for my generation. And the older generations? Some agree, some do not. Change is always difficult, but the direction is clear. Humans are becoming united. Professor Dong-hyun finished the tour with a simple statement. Humans have done terrible things. We may do terrible things again, but we also have the capacity for great good. Which side wins depends on the choices we make every day. As they left the museum, the students were silent. They had learned about human violence, human weapons, human cruelty, but they had also seen something else. They know what they are, Bora said. They do not hide from their dark side. They study it, remember it, try to learn from it. Most species try to forget their shameful history. Humans do the opposite. They teach it to every new generation. Because they believe they can change. They believe each generation can be better. Can they? Hana asked. Sumi answered. We have to try. The alternative is to repeat the same mistakes forever. That is not acceptable. That evening, the students gathered to discuss what they had learned. Tomorrow was their last day. They needed to understand what they would tell the Galactic Council. Humans are dangerous, Professor Catan said. More dangerous than we realized. They have weapons that can destroy planets. But they are also working toward peace, Bora argued. They created systems to prevent war. They punish those who commit crimes against their own kind. Can we trust them? Can we trust anyone? Every species has the capacity for violence. What matters is what they do with that capacity. Humans choose to fight their own nature. They build hospitals to heal. They build schools to educate. They build museums to remember. Taemin stepped forward. I grew up learning about the galaxy. My parents taught me that we are part of something bigger than Korea, bigger than Earth. This is normal for my generation. And the older generations? Some agree, some do not. Change is always difficult, but the direction is clear. Humans are becoming united. Today is your last day. We want to show you something special. Not our hospitals or museums, just life. Normal human life. What do you mean? You have seen our extremes, our dangers, and our achievements. Today you will see the middle, how ordinary humans live ordinary days. This would be their final lesson, and perhaps the most important one. The morning sun was warm on their faces. Birds sang in nearby trees. The city of souls spread out around them, alive with activity. Today has no schedule. We will simply walk, see, and experience. Ask any questions you want. They started in a residential neighborhood. Small houses and apartment buildings lined the streets. People walked to work. Children went to school. Elderly folks exercised in parks. This is where regular people live, Junho explained. Not heroes or villains, just people trying to have good lives. A mother pushed a stroller with a baby inside. The baby laughed at something, a pure sound of joy. Why does the baby laugh? Bora asked. Because babies find joy in simple things, a funny face,